I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Apparently not, because Sidney Prescott returns to lead the Scream franchise in February of 2026. While there hasn't been too many Scream 7 updates this year, we've recently seen more come through as production begins to go underway. With a brand new release date for the 7th entry, as well as some casting rumors going around, it's just about time to get into theories for the next entry of Scream. Speaking of which, Patrick Dempsey has just teased his involvement with the 7th film. What role could his character from the 3rd Scream film play here in Part 7? And will he survive alongside Sidney Prescott to finally get that happy ending? Well, it's theory time, baby. Hey everybody, I'm KillJoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Real quick before we talk Scream, make sure to stay until the end of this video to hear a big channel update. Scream 7 is about to begin production at the top of 2025, with original franchise star Neve Campbell back as Sidney Prescott. She was absent from 2023's Scream 6 after a pay dispute. She felt as if she was undervalued, even saying that if she were a man leading a long-standing successful franchise, she would have been treated better. Clearly, Spyglass has driven the money truck up to her house in an act of desperation, considering they fired their new lead, Melissa Barrera, over social media posts the company deemed as anti-Semitic. I think she was just calling for a ceasefire over an awful genocide going on right now, but whatever, Spyglass. Her on-screen sister, Jenna Ortega, dropped out of the project shortly after as well, spelling an end to the core four. Barrera recently spoke up about Neve Campbell's decision to return to the somewhat taboo slasher franchise, saying, "I think everyone makes their choices and what they think is best for them. I fully respect what people think they need to do to keep going in this life. Personally, I don't think there's actually any bad blood between these two actresses. Neve is just taking a job like all actors have to do to continue their careers, and Scream is without a doubt her biggest role." Speaking of Neve, Campbell recently confirmed with Entertainment Tonight that we will follow Sidney Prescott again in the new film, and she only signed on based on the apparent strong concept that was pitched to her. We'll see about that in 2026. Courtney Cox has also seemingly confirmed her return to the franchise, saying, "I'm the longest running Scream Queen, so I guess I can't stop now." For the record, this is like the 3rd or 4th time that Courtney has said something like this, although we still do not have official confirmation that she has signed on. Look, I'm sure we'll see Gale again for Part 7, but as of right now, nothing is in stone. Another slice of the Scream 7 pie comes in the form of Patrick Dempsey. Delicious. Fans have been theorizing since Scream 5's release in 2022 that Patrick Dempsey would return to the franchise after it was confirmed that his character, Detective Mark Kincaid, had married Sidney Prescott in universe. They also have 3 kids now. I guess when you're not getting interrupted by slasher villains, you have a little more time to get busy. Scream 3 wasn't the last time this pair worked together either. Since the year 2000, Patrick Dempsey and Neve Campbell shared the screen in 2012 on Season 9, Episode 8 of Grey's Anatomy, where Campbell played Liz Shepard, Dempsey's on-screen sister. Kinda weird that she's played his on-screen sister and love interest in different movies and TV shows, but let's just hope that Scream 7's twist isn't that she's his sister. Scream 7 doesn't take place in Alabama, does it? Does it? Patrick recently went on the Today Show to talk about his cancer care and support program called the Dempsey Center. After losing his mother Amanda to a 10-year battle with ovarian cancer, Patrick felt inspired to create this organization that not only treats the disease, but takes care of its patients too. It sounds like a wonderful program, and I send my condolences to Patrick, who just seems like a wonderful guy. I have such a newfound respect for Patrick after learning about all this, and I'm sending love his way. He's not only the sexiest man alive, he's also a good person. Al Roker asked Patrick about his involvement with Scream 7, and he had this to say.
Could you be back fighting Ghostface?
I'm waiting on the script. There has been a conversation about it. I haven't seen anything yet, so we'll see what happens.
This is far from surprising considering the focus of this film and Patrick's recent involvement with this company. He played a pivotal role in last year's Thanksgiving, portraying Sheriff Eric Newland. Thanksgiving 2 comes out next year from Spyglass and Eli Roth, and I'm expecting him to return for that film as well. Well, we'll see. If you've seen Thanksgiving in its entirety, you know that's debatable. As for his role in Scream 7, I imagine he'll be working closely with Sidney to protect their kids. It will likely be a similar relationship to Gale and Dewey in the later Scream films, but minus the melodrama. I don't think he'll die on us either. The Scream franchise simply cannot jeopardize Sidney's happy ending. The fans would riot harder than they did when Dewey died. I'm expecting bodies to hit the ground in this new entry, but solely new characters. Patrick isn't the only actor currently rumored to be facing off against Ghostface either. Industry scooper Daniel Richtman reports that McKenna Grace is apparently in talks to join the cast as Sydney's eldest daughter, Tatum. If this rumor is true, the character is likely named after Sydney's best friend from the original Tatum Riley. That character, played by Rose McGowan, died, of course, when her neck got snapped in that garage door. I still can't believe that door could even carry a person up that high. It makes a really goofy sound, too. Let's play the clip. McKenna Grace can be seen in the most recent Ghostbusters movies playing Phoebe Spangler. She also plays Judy Warren in Annabelle Comes Home, oddly replacing original character actress Sterling Jarrins just for that movie. It's an extremely jarring little tidbit, especially if you go through a little marathon of the Conjuring flicks. This leads right into today's theory about Scream 7 because more rumors have surfaced. Scream 7 will apparently have dueling storylines, one following Sydney and her neighbors, and one following her teenage daughter's friend group. These are just rumors for now, of course, but to me, it sounds like we're getting another Scream 5, a movie that appeals to both legacy fans and the new crowd by establishing relatable characters to both sides of the fandom. While the setup is different from Scream 5 a little bit, it sounds like they just copy-pasted the setup from Halloween 2018 into Scream even more than the 5th entry already did. The torch will once again be passed from previous Final Girl to a new young character likely played by McKenna Grace instead of Melissa Barrera. If this is true, it just doesn't feel like a movie that's going to break new ground like the best Scream films do. It just sounds like it's resting on its laurels. Maybe that's what some Scream fans want after the 6th entry that found ways to diverge from the usual storytelling, but for me personally, I hope 7 gets even weirder. The biggest complaints I hear about the 6th entry stem almost entirely from the sequences that fell back on the franchise's tropes. The sugary sweet blast of nostalgia that is the Ghostface shrine scene feels overstuffed, and our killer's reveal is ripped almost entirely from the 2nd film. Instead of an angry mother trying to avenge her dead kid, it's a whole family of Ghostfaces trying to avenge their dead kid. I mean, there's a little bit of effort there to try to reinvent that motive from the 2nd film, but for me, I want a motive that is incomparable to other Scream films. That's not that big of an ask either. If Scream 7 is going to be a worthy sequel to this groundbreaking slasher franchise, it needs to find ways to tell new stories with its familiar characters. If 7 can successfully transform Sidney Prescott, showing her playing a new role of the guardian to her children, that to me is a great start. In every Sidney-focused movie, she's trying to protect her peace. Now she needs to protect the lives of her 3 kids. On top of that, maybe more than anything, we need a Ghostface motive that isn't repetitive. While it would be nice to have a mystery pull the wool over my eyes again like Amber in Scream 5, all I'm hoping for in 7 is a new Ghostface motive. If Scream 7 features another Prescott family member under the robe, I'm gonna lose it. It almost feels obligatory at this point, but I feel like I have to mention some new comments from Matthew Lillard. He might have just teased a return in Scream 7.
No, I am not in the movie, and even if I was, I would lie direct to your face.
While I think resurrecting a fan-favorite Ghostface for the lone reason of fan service is the laziest possible outcome for 7, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Matthew is extremely popular again, playing the central antagonist in the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. The 2nd FNAF is currently filming and releases in December of next year. There's also a 3rd film on the way that I'm sure will feature his character once again. With the first Five Nights at Freddy's being the most successful movie for Blumhouse at the box office, Lillard's star shines bright again just like how it did in the late 90s and early thousands. I would not be shocked in the least bit if he was contacted to play a part in this upcoming sequel, especially considering Spyglass's need for a win here. A big chunk of the younger fan base is still pretty upset about Melissa's firing, so the studio might interfere to make this movie as sugar-coated as humanly possible. I'm hoping they give us a classic murder mystery opposed to another movie chock full of references and coated with nostalgia, but we'll just have to wait and see. Scream 7 is currently slated to release on February 27th of 2026, and I'm just hoping for the best at this point. I definitely don't have the same excitement with this movie as I did with Screams 5 and 6 that at least attempted to stay fresh. It's arguable if they managed to do that or not though. So far, everything we know about 7 seems to feel far too familiar, and I'm hoping more updates come out on the film to establish a more refreshing outlook. Until then, I'm staying cautiously optimistic, as it is still a sequel to one of my favorite horror franchises. Honestly, as long as it's better than The Strangers Chapter 1, I'll take it. Anyways, I have a huge announcement regarding the future of this channel. So over the course of the past year, you've probably heard me talk about wanting to make video essays on this page. After a year of trying to switch up my content to general horror topics, I'm realizing that I've screwed up the algorithm on this page bad. I've posted so frequently about Scream and Terrifier that it seems these topics, as well as new horror movie reviews, are the only types of videos the algorithm will throw out to larger audiences these days. While I love both of these franchises so much, I consider myself a general horror fan. I love everything in this space, release everything from Friday the 13th to Phantasm. Because of this, I'm starting a new page called KillJoy Jake Retro. It's a page that will focus solely on video essays on past horror films that I personally love. The goal of that channel will be to talk about a new horror film or franchise with every new upload. If that's something you're interested in, then go subscribe to that page. If you're more interested in theory videos on upcoming movies and new film reviews, then just stay subscribed to this page. I'm also starting to upload more frequently on my gaming channel GullGotha, and KillJoy Jake Reacts will have a weekly video posted there too. Make sure to subscribe to all my pages, please and thank you. Also, because the algorithm is so wonky on this page, I'm gonna have to delay the release of my short film that I've been working on for over a year now. Because of that, however, I will give you guys a little taste on what we've been working on. The short is titled Chicken Man, and it's about a slasher with mysterious intentions who breaks into a suburban house in the middle of the night. It's an original slasher villain I created, and I think his motive especially is really fresh. I really want this short to have a good release, so I likely won't be posting it on here, but maybe yet another channel for my new production studio. Stay tuned for more updates on its future release. What do you guys think about Scream 7 though? Will it be another hit for this franchise or a series low point? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.